Hi, everyone. Welcome to the conversational course. This is a course focused on a monthly topic. The topic for this month is disasters. So a lot of us will remember the accident with the submersible back in June. It was a small submarine going to visit the Titanic that disappeared. And then the world was waiting, to hear updates about what happened for several days. And eventually it was discovered that it had imploded, and of course, everyone had died. So the topic for the month is disasters. And we're going to, let's see what it says first. Let's start with some vocabulary that we're going to next hear in the video. Okay, so the idea here is we have these words and we need to try and match them to these definitions. Okay.
Okay. Okay, for the sentence number one, something that is valuable and useful for a purpose is asset.
Yes, an asset. Yeah.
An asset.
Yeah, something that is. Okay, what else?
A large ship or boat is whole.
Hull is more like part of the ship, but the actual ship or boat itself would use a different name.
Okay, a score.
Scour is more like to search, to look for something.
Then is vessel.
Yeah, vessel is another word for a ship or a boat.
Okay.
Okay, what else?
With no people present, is unmanned.
Unmanned, yeah. Unmanned. Okay.
The action of search a place carefully is scour.
Scour. Yes, to look carefully. Okay, so that just leaves this word, the hull, the body of the ship. So the way that they used this word was when they were searching for this submersible, they eventually found a piece of the, I think it was like the ceiling called the hull. And that was how, they realized that if there was a part of the submersible that it must have imploded, and that nobody had survived the accident. So they found the hull.
But I understand that they found this piece of the body of a ship or the body of the submersible with a camera. With nobody went to the Titanic.
Oh no, there were 5 people who were in the submersible, and they all died because it imploded.
Yes, but I said when this happened and died, the people died. Somebody went to look for the for the vessel, and then they found something.
Yeah, I think what happened was
something?
a piece of the vessel or a piece of the hull surfaced, like it floated back up to the surface of the water. And then when they discovered that, they realized that it had imploded.
Okay.
Yeah. Mama. Sorry. Okay. And okay, so let's look at the words in group number 2.
Okay.
Okay, so it's the same. We need to match these
Mhm.
words to these definitions.
Have a harmful effect on something is compromise.
Compromise. Yeah, that's not the most common use of that word. So
Uh-huh.
compromise more commonly means llegar a un acuerdo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for example, when one person wants A and another person wants C, they meet in the middle and they agree on B. That's a compromise. Mhm. But it can also mean to damage. For example, the vessel was compromised or damaged by the water pressure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
compromise. Okay. All right. What else?
To control the direction of a vehicle is steer.
Mm-hmm. Steer. Yeah, that's why we call the volante in the car is called the steering wheel. Mhm. Steer. Okay, good. What else?
A person who had a position before someone else, a predecessor.
Mm-hmm. Predecessor. Yeah. Okay, good.
With no limits, boundless.
Mm-hmm. Boundless. Okay, good.
And a ship that has been destroyed, wreck.
Yes, is a wreck. The wreck of the Titanic was what they were
Uh-huh.
going to visit. Okay, so let's copy these words. Asset, vessel, unmanned, scour, full, compromise, steer, predecessor, wreck. Okay, so we have 10 words and we
Mm-hmm.
have 5 sentences. Some of the sentences will use 2 vocabulary words, but I think we will have 3 remaining, meaning words that will not be used. Let me just check. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll have 3 words that we will not use. So it says the blank of the famous
Mm-hmm.
ship Titanic was found in 1985 by an blank vehicle called Argo.
Okay. Is the the wreck of the famous
Yes.
ship Titanic was
Mhm.
found in 1985 by um, a score.
What does it mean if it says an instead of a? What does that mean about the next word?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
Mm-hmm.
unmanned
Yeah, yeah. It was, in other words, like a robot vehicle. You know, like the ones that
robot.
go to
Uh-huh.
Mars or whatever it is. Yeah, this was actually, I didn't know that. This was new for me because the Titanic sank in 1912. I didn't
Uh-huh.
know that it was discovered in 1985. Like there
Ah,
was a long
I
time where
didn't
nobody
know
knew where.
about.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
yeah. I didn't know that it was that long.
On that was with an unmanned vehicle.
Yeah, like a robot kind of
Uh-huh.
ship or
But that
whatever. Yeah.
was many year later, many years later.
Yeah. So all
Mhm.
that time, nobody knew where it was. I didn't know that it was that long.
Yes, okay. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. What else? It says many vessels and other blank like sonars are being used in the search for the missing submersible?
Where's the blank is
The other, where it says other blank, like
other
sonars.
blank.
Mhm.
Many vessels and other hull. No, sorry. Hull,
Should we skip this one and come back?
okay.
Okay, perfect. All right. Sonars are blank, the bottom of the sea, to look for the submersible.
Steer.
I think we want to say like searching carefully.
Searching. Then it's a score.
Yeah, we just want to say scouring. So if we need to change
Scour.
the verb tense or whatever, we can do that.
Sonars are scouring the
Mhm.
bottom of the sea to look for the submersible.
That's right, scouring. Okay. A possible theory is that the blank of the submersible was blank by the immense pressure at that depth.
A possible theory is that the vessel of the submersible.
I think what we want to say is yes, but specifically the top, like the roof or the ceiling.
Hull.
Yeah, the hull of the submersible was
Uh-huh.
blank by the immense pressure at that depth.
Compromise.
Was compromised.
Was
Meaning,
damaged.
yeah, exactly, it was damaged. Okay. And the pilot usually blank the submersible using a controller similar to those used in video games.
The pilot usually steers.
Yeah, steers. Okay, so that leaves these words for this sentence. Many vessels and other blank like sonars. What could be the right word for this?
Many vessels and other assets.
Yeah, I think so. Like, something that in this situation is useful for looking for something. Okay, so assets. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna watch the video. I wanted to ask you first, were you following this case? I definitely was. I was like updating the page every few hours to see if it had been found and if there were any updates. So, did you follow this case about the submersible?
Yes, because I work in the safety items and topic in the industry, and it was this event was very commented with the in our group of professionals, and the the man, this how is the name of him, is
The owner?
the owner of the company is
His name was
I,
like Stockton Rush or something. Yeah.
he they in our group we commented or we said that he was very irresponsible, or how do you say?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because he didn't any proof or any tested of the vessel of this submersible, and then because of that. But yes, I followed the event in this case.
Yeah, I can imagine that was an interesting topic for you all because I assume that this was most likely preventable. I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that they had made some previous trips to the Titanic without any incident, but they were lucky. And I remember hearing that some people had warned him about the safety and he didn't listen to their concerns.
Yes, because um they he could certify the submersible, or
Hmm.
the process in general, the process. And yes, a certification of a process means that they made a lot of testing, and they follow a lot of safety procedures. And but he didn't want to do that.
Yeah, he wanted to save money and make more profit for
And
himself.
he said that safety is how do you say, something tonto, something doing
Yeah,
something.
there was a video where he was like, well, if you want to be safe, then just don't leave your house.
Yes.
Yeah. But it was like, yeah, I mean, but that doesn't apply like in the ocean. Like you have to, I mean, there is no way to be safe
Exactly.
unless, yeah,
This
that's so dangerous.
this this action is very dangerous. In fact, it's very dangerous. Then you, you have to do many safety procedures in this case, because it's very dangerous to sink so a lot of meters in the sea, no?
Yeah, kilometers even when you get to that depth. Yeah, it's super deep. And yeah, I mean, you have to. It's like saying, oh, I'm gonna go skydiving and I'm just gonna use my blanket, as a parachute. It just,
Yes.
you can't do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So but we didn't know when this became a news story, we did not know what happened. So a lot of people were imagining that they were still alive. They had sunk to the bottom of the ocean. They were running out of oxygen and food, or they were freezing. So a lot of people were imagining that situation. But now, of course, we know that they died instantly. So at least there was no suffering.
Yes. This is, um for me, it's stupid, died in this way, like a tourist, without safety condition and without safety culture in the uh, yeah, in the procedure or in the operation. It's
Yeah, it was a really bad idea. And I think that also this incident will permanently change that type of exploration. I think that a lot of people, like, regardless of the safety measures or the certifications, a lot of people will never take this type of trip based on what happened.
yes, yes, but also the the mentality of the people is strange, because I saw an interview with one of the in the incident, and she said, it's for me, it's a dream. It's a dream to go to see the wreck of the Titanic. For me, it's a dream. People have dreams. She said that people had dreams, and they want to comply to reach their dreams. For example, one wants to a house, wants to go to Disney, and I want to see the Titanic. It's my dream. And as for me, it's
Yeah, for
crazy.
me there's nothing wrong with that, but this was not certified. I mean, this could have been avoided, like we were saying. And
Yes.
yeah, I think there
Mhm.
are other companies that do similar explorations in a safer way. And it's okay. I mean, even if you take a certified submersible, there's still a risk, right?
Yes.
But you give your informed consent. Some people want to die skydiving or, doing something that they really love and enjoy. And there's nothing
Mhm.
wrong with that, but you should be taking all of the precautions that you can.
Yes. Yes, I mean, for something so dangerous, for me is for investigating, for research, for 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 yes, to accumulate knowledge for the for and for the humanity, for something that we can research and yeah, have an antidote or something like that. You make so dangerous things for something like that, not
Hmm.
for see a ship
Yeah.
in the. Mhm.
Well, it's kind of like the space exploration by the billionaires. They're not really doing any scientific research. They're
Mhm.
just doing this for fun, but it's their money and it's their lives. If they want
Yeah,
to risk their life, that's their business.
yes. Mhm. Yes, that's true. Mhm.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's go ahead and listen to this report, and then we'll answer some questions about listen to.
Joining me now for more is National
All right.
Geographic editor
Can you
Kristen
hear it?
Romey. Kristen, thanks so much for taking the time. Right off the bat, we understand that even if the Titan has surfaced, the crew can't get
Okay.
themselves out.
Yeah, that's correct, Phil. They are literally bolted into this vessel. So even if it comes to the surface, they have to find it before the air runs out in order to actually physically remove the passengers using an exterior team.
So if the Titan is in fact at the bottom of the sea, can rescuers reach them in time with the amount of oxygen they have left?
Well, it's a question of what assets are already available. I mean, if you have ships steaming out from, say, from Newfoundland, you're talking of a distance of LA to Phoenix already. So it's going to take vessels a time to get there. But from what I understand, the research vessel, the support vessel, has two of these remotely operated vehicles. These are unmanned underwater robots that could be sent to the bottom to investigate and try and locate the submersible. And there are other vessels in the area now that also equally have these robots that they are sending to scour the seafloor using technology that they use for oil pipelines to try and find the Titan.
Talk to us, if you can, for just a second about the conditions that far below the surface.
You know, 12,500 feet below the surface is not a place that humans were ever meant to be. And everything conspires to kill you down there. When you consider it, that the pressure alone at that site is the equivalent of 400 times of what you have on the surface. If you were sitting on the beach with a can of Coca-Cola, that can of Coca-Cola would be crushed like a ball at the very bottom of the Titanic. And it is that carbon fiber titanium sphere that is protecting the people that are going down to the site. Now, whether or not that hull was compromised, again, is one of the issues that we are trying to understand with this really terrible and ongoing situation.
And as we're learning more about this submersible, we understand it's steered with a video game controller. Talk to us about that.
You know, this was a point of contention across social media, being like, how can we trust this if they're playing, you know, if they're driving the thing with a PlayStation 5 controller? But what few people are aware of is that the U.S. military has happily embraced this kind of technology. We are operating drones, we are firing lasers, we are even operating periscopes on U.S. Navy submarines using similar technology. So I don't think that should be any sort of point of concern. I think more it should come as a surprise of how much off-the-shelf technology is being used in extreme exploration nowadays.
We learned today that one of the 5 people on board is the CEO of OceanGate, Stockton Rush. I understand you've interviewed him before, so can you talk to us a little bit about him and his vision for the company?
Stockton, when I spoke to him in 2016 for an interview in National Geographic, at the time he was working on a submarine Cyclops, which was kind of the predecessor to Titan, and his enthusiasm was, you know, boundless. I'm a fellow of the Explorers Club. I deal a lot with polar explorers, underwater explorers, space explorers, and Stockton really stood out for his energy and his enthusiasm. And you know, we were really pulling for him when he was, you know, talking about creating this novel carbon fiber sub to plumb the depths.
You had said just a few minutes ago that where the Titanic is not a place that humans were meant to be. So just I ask you just before we go, do you think it's possible to visit the Titanic in any kind of safe way, or is it always going to be this dangerous?
I think you're going to have a lot of scientists who say that we don't need to send people down to the Titanic at all. We don't need to do it for science. And anytime people go down in these manned submersibles, they could cause damage to the wreck, and they could, you know, endanger their own lives. So we have to ask, why are we putting people down to the Titanic when we could put robots down there?
Well, even as we say that, of course, we're all pulling for the best possible outcome here. National Geographic editor Kristen Romey, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? Do you want to go over anything from the transcript or everything? Okay. Did we freeze?
I hear. I already hear
Okay.
you.
Now I can hear you. Okay. Okay.
Uh,
So do you have any questions before we continue?
um, mm, 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 mm,
We can go to the transcript if you want. I think it's, let me see. Okay, yeah, if you want, we can read through this.
I didn't understand exactly which is the first question. Right off the bat, that expression I don't understand.
Okay, that's a good question. So the meaning right off the bat means immediately or from the beginning.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, like desde el principio. So they are talking about the situation, and she says, you know, before we talk about anything else, we need to
Ah,
discuss the fact that they can't escape from this submersible.
okay, okay. Okay. And that is very good question because I understood that they couldn't open
Right.
the Titan.
The Titanic or the submersible?
I mean they alone couldn't make that.
Like if they
Ah,
had come to the
the
surface,
submersible.
yeah, that they could not open the submersible and escape.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. So, I mean, now, of course, we know that they died, but if they had come to the surface, they would not have been able to escape from the
To
inside.
open.
Right.
They
Yeah,
needed help to open the.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Okay. Then.
Okay, what else?
I think. I think that's.
Just that? Okay. So let's look at these. Okay, so we don't have a word bank here, but we need to try to remember what was the word that was used in the video. Okay, so
Okay.
Kristen says the type of technology used to steer the submersible is used a lot by the what?
That just to steer by the army,
Yeah, or the military, right?
the military.
Yeah, yeah, she says that. Yeah, US military has happily embraced this kind of technology. Okay. She says the amount of technology
Yeah,
like that.
for example, drones or yeah.
Actually,
The
she's,
US.
yeah, they were talking about the video game controller being used to operate. And people were like really shocked by this. And they were like, well, how can they trust something that's being operated with a PlayStation controller? But what
Yes.
she points out is that that's actually a type of technology that is used by the military. So this is not, something that people need to be concerned about. Not the video game controller, but the materials that were used to build the submersible. Yes.
Okay.
So she says the amount of technology like that being used in exploration shouldn't be a
Mm,
I think she says concern. So she says, yeah, I don't think that should be any sort of point of concern. The
Could be
video
a
game.
concern, or a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Stockton Rush, the blank of the exploration company, is one of the people in the submersible.
As the CEO.
Yeah, the chief executive officer. Okay. Kristen interviewed Stockton Rush back in
1996 or
2016.
2016.
2016. Yeah.
Sí.
Okay. She describes him as a person full of
energy
and
and boundless
enthusiasm.
enthusiastic.
Yes. Okay. The journalist's last question is whether a trip to the Titanic will ever be
Dangerous or possible without danger in some time.
or safe.
Safe.
Right. Okay. Kristen says that explorations that could damage the vessel or blank the crew should not be allowed.
Damage the vessel or compromise the crew.
Or endanger, I think she said.
Danger the crew.
Yeah. Yeah, or endanger their lives.
Endanger their own life.
Yeah.
Danger.
Okay. And the journalist ends the report wishing for an ideal outcome. Like a final, a final result. Okay. Okay. So let's look at some of these expressions. Okay. So one of them is the one that you asked about right off the bat. Okay. We need to try to match them to their definitions. Okay. So when he says right off the bat, we understand that even if the Titan has surfaced, the crew can't get themselves out. What is the meaning of that right off the bat?
At the beginning of first.
Yeah, instantly or immediately. Yeah, we have the options here below.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah. Don't worry. Okay. If you have ships teaming out from Newfoundland, you're talking of a distance of LA to Phoenix already.
Living. Yeah, living in large numbers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, leaving in large numbers. Okay. This was a point of contention across social media. Like, how can we trust this if they're driving the thing with the PlayStation 5 controller?
An issue that people are arguing over.
I agree. Okay. I think it should come as a surprise how much off-the-shelf technology is being used in extreme exploration nowadays.
It's be easier to notice than others.
Off the shelf would be something like, that we can access easily or buy at the store. Shelf is like repisa. So, maybe in this case, he was buying the materials from Home Depot or something like that.
The software and hardware that is available from commercial sources.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. I deal with a lot with polar explorers, underwater explorers, space explorers, and Stockton really stood out for his energy and his enthusiasm.
Be easier to notice than others.
Resaltar. This is a phrasal verb. Yeah, it means he was different from everyone else. Okay. And we were really pulling for him when he was talking about creating this novel carbon fiber sub to plumb the depths.
Hope someone will succeed.
Mhm. Yeah, this is another phrasal verb, to pull for someone or something.
Pulling for.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's skip this one and let's answer some questions. So it says, would you ever consider diving in a submersible to the bed of the ocean? And why or why not?
I think after this tragedy, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't consider diving in a submersible. I like swim. I love swim. But in this case, in a submersible, I think I scare about that.
Yeah, you would be scared to do it.
So, yes, I was scared to do this action.
Yeah, I think that this incident is going to permanently change the future of this type of tourism. I mean, even if it's certified, I think a lot of people, after this would just never consider doing something like that.
Yeah, I think we or some people, we always have something scare about this, about submersible in the ocean, and with this now is more. Now we have more scare about that.
Yeah, we're more scared of it. And yeah, there's so much that we don't know and we don't understand about the deep ocean.
Yes, I have been in these very big ships, cruceros, and
Cruise ships.
cruise ships,
Mhm.
and it's very fun and very you can do a lot of things. But in this case, when you are in the room or in the camarote, you are in the room and you can see the ocean in the window. It's very impressive because you see the ocean, but how it is you can imagine, or you cannot imagine you in this place, in the
Right.
ship, in the room, in your bed. That's very nice and very fun. But there in the ocean is impressive. For me, it's very impressive.
Yeah, I think it's something like, for me, I would consider, I have never been scuba diving, but it's something that I would consider, maybe, 10 meters, 20 meters, you can see a lot of interesting things. But to go that deep and, do something so dangerous, no, I don't think that I would be willing to do that.
Yes, but in fact, if you swim or if you make this scuba diving, you are free. Yes, in the ocean, but you are free. But in
Right.
submersible, how do you say, dentro, in the submersible.
Inside, yeah, you're trapped on the inside.
Trapped. Yeah, that is, for me, I don't think about that. I can't think about that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's kind of like a claustrophobic feeling, I think, for a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And with this tragedy, this event, I think less about submersible in the ocean.
Yeah, yeah, I think that this will decrease in popularity for sure. Okay, so why do you think people are willing to take such risks? Like to do this type of exploration or go skydiving? Why do people like to take those risks?
Because they are crazy.
Yeah, some
I think
people just the adrenaline is like enough
yes,
for
the
them.
adrenaline, they like the adrenaline, they like this feeling of power, because if you take these risks, you feel some power, or you feel that you have control in some activities, and this risk activities is very, you feel a lot of adrenaline making these activities, but in some cases they are crazy, because there are different levels of risk,
Right.
and some in some cases is so high the risk that you can say they are crazy.
Yeah, some people, like, for example, there's a type of puffer fish. I think it's called the fugu in Japan. And this fish has no flavor. People don't eat this because they like the flavor. They eat it because this puffer fish is very toxic and the toxin needs to be removed before you eat it. But the purpose of eating it is to survive. Like it's just the like I don't understand the really I would never do something like this. I don't understand the appeal.
Yes, that is crazy, because where or how is the find you fun in that, how or where, or that have fun.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, because if you jump in this in the ocean, or in
It's
the
fun. Yeah.
river, or in yeah, and water is fun, but in this case I don't see the fun in this risk.
Yeah, neither do I. Okay. So let's imagine that we could do any type of exploration that we wanted and be totally safe. Okay. What environment would you like to explore if it was completely safe?
I think I think the environment where we can find corals, or how do you say, medusas?
Jellyfish?
Jellyfish, because I think this environment is very interesting, and I think it's pure, because not many people go there. No, it's clean. It's a clean environment in the ocean. And
Yeah,
other
yeah.
environment I would like to see is with whales, but in the ocean.
Yeah, those can be hard to find because some people go on cruise ships to do what is called whale watching, like what, when the whales jump up for air. but a lot of people who do this don't see any whales. I think the whales spend a lot of time very deep in the ocean. Yeah,
In this
deeper
case,
than we can go.
in the deep of the ocean, I would like to see the waves.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because they are very, I think it's a very interesting animals, whales and dolphins.
Yeah, the dolphins are really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice animal. Let's spell this wrong. Okay, so any more questions? I can send you the link if you want, and you can look through.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, please.
Okay. Well, we should meet again tomorrow, and our next topic will be a plane crash in Colombia, where 4 young children survived over a month in the Amazon.
Okay.
So that's our topic for tomorrow. So thank you so much for being here, and we'll meet again tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Lana.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.